Hello and welcome to another Fire Emblem discussion. Today we're going to look at the comments from yesterday's video, Fire Emblem Three Houses Needs to Learn from Path of Radiance, and talk about them. So first we have a comment from Ninja Bunny who says, the biggest problem that Path of Radiance has that every Fire Emblem game needs to learn from Path of Radiance is map design. The map design in Path of Radiance goes from fantastic to mediocre to terrible. Chapter 10 is the last greatly designed map, Chapter 18 is the last meh one, and after that point, the maps just get so bad. There are a lot of interesting map choices. Like, what's chapter 18 is the one where you recruit Shannon, right? I'd even argue that one's kind of a pain, having to snake through all the corridors and stuff to get there. I even prefer the chapter after that one, which is the one with Naysala, I believe. I could be wrong on that, though. I see where you're coming from. There's a lot of interestingly designed maps in Path of Radiance, we'll say. Like, Clash is kind of gross. It's just a ginormous open field. It's like playing FE4, except it's not FE4, so it's not okay. And then even the final chapter is kind of poorly designed. It just feels kind of like a slog. So, I don't know. I see where you're coming from, but I don't think the map design is as bad as some people will say in Path of Radiance. I will agree. Well, I think Chapter 11, if you're going to say Chapter 10 is the last good one, I think Chapter 11 is pretty good, too. I like Blood Runs Red. It's a fun chapter. And, I don't know, it just has some really cool stuff going on in it as well, which we'll get to in a minute, actually, from another commenter. Alright, so thank you, Ninja Bunny. I don't know if I necessarily agree with you that the map design is horrible. I do think it could use some work, but I don't think it's the worst. It's not as bad as it could be, I guess is what I'm saying. But thanks for the comment. Next, we're going to move on to a new commenter, Zen Jester, who says, bonus experience, bonus experience, bonus experience. So I realize that that's something that I neglected to put in the video, was bonus experience. And I would love to see bonus experience come back in some shape or form. I preferred it in Radiant Dawn, where it only gave 3 stats, but you could use it strategically to cap stats and stuff if you'd like, which was really fun to do. And it led to having some really powerful units in the end, you know? Path of Radiance had fine bonus experience. I feel like they did give you too much at times, where it was easy just to become overpowered really quickly, even on like hard mode. But I like the idea of bonus experience. I should have mentioned that. So thanks for catching me on that one, and I do think they should add it. I agree. Next we have Absol112, who says, if IS takes anything from Path of Radiance, I want to be Blood Runs Red. For those who don't know, an important late game boss appears in this chapter. The cutscenes show shades of gray with the people of Crimea, and we get an introduction to 2 recruitable units, and get a unit mid-chapter. As I mentioned just a minute or two ago, I do think Blood Runs Red is a fantastic chapter in Path of Radiance. It's one that I always look forward to. I think it's just really well made and a fun design. There's just a bunch of objectives, but then you even have a little time clock in that late game boss that shows up, and you get an introduction to honestly one of my favorite characters in the game, and then you also get another character who's just really good in. Well, he's not as good in Path of Radiance, but in Radiant Dawn he's really good, Zahark. It's really good story integration into the map as well. And it's just crazy, the Black Knight just shows up out of nowhere. Alright. Or, sorry, the second part of Absol's comment says, the question as to how much writing should be in Three Houses is interesting. Because while there is an argument that Tellius has too much dialogue in either game, when you look at Fates and remember that the continent doesn't have a name, it almost makes me say that I'll take a bloated game. I mean, if the alternative is a Fates-like story, then yeah, I'll take a bloated game too. But I don't think that's the case. Those are 2 extremes. I think there's a middle ground that IS could take that would give us a really well-written story that isn't, like, disgustingly long. So I agree with you in that if those were the only 2 options, like really, really long and bloated, or really, like, just no information at all, I would take the long and bloated, but I prefer a middle ground. Well, that'll do it for today. Thanks for commenting on the previous video, and make sure to comment on future videos if you'd like to be featured in one of these community feedback videos. So go ahead and comment your thoughts, and make sure to like and subscribe for more Fire Emblem discussion.